Good afternoon and welcome back to Pride of Midlife. Prime of Midlife, oh my goodness gracious. It's Saturday, I have been out and about and we have made a difference today, so we will be uploading that for later this evening. However, I'm not long arrived at Patrick's and the headlines were on and they're like, oh, this NHS, it's not a crisis meeting, seemingly it's a strategy meeting. And there's all the bosses from the different sections of the NHS and private providers. And Patrick asked the question, which I thought was a very good question to ask. And that's why I came and made the video just now. And that question is, if the government can't afford to run the NHS, how can they privatise it? Because surely a business that is not going to make a profit is not going to be able to be run privately. And so when you look back at it and you think, right, okay, wasn't that what happened before? So we can't afford to run British Gas or British Rail or whatever it was. So we'll privatise it. And if you look at private healthcare providers, they pay their staff a decent wage. Granted, they charge a lot more money. Or they charge money, which the NHS doesn't do. But surely to goodness, if the NHS is suitable to be sold off to private companies so that they can do it to make a profit, surely the government should be able to run it to the same sort of standard with money left over, because there's that profit there, isn't there? It's like social care just now. You know, so many local authorities have closed their care homes and have outsourced it to private providers. Now, these private providers, granted, still don't pay their staff very much, but they run at a profit. So why can't that happen for social care in the country, for local authorities? Why is it? And I don't know whether it's because the money just isn't ring-fenced for that, so if they save money or if they make a profit, it gets immediately spent somewhere else, it gets shared out with other things. I don't know. And you know, I'm having a wee question. It's actually a wee thought in my head, going, how can it be viable for a private company to take over the NHS or parts of the NHS to run for a profit, and yet the government can't do that? So yeah, answers on a postcard, please. Or in the comments below would be great as well. But yeah, so that's just my little quick thing for this afternoon, just with all these headlines going, oh, they're having meetings, they're doing this or that. I haven't even looked at the news report. I literally, the headline came on, Patrick asked that question, and I was like, I need to go and do a video about that, because that's a huge, huge thing. I think it's something that we need to get out there, and it's something we need to be asking the government as well. How is this plausible? Because all these companies like British Rail, British Gas, they have been running for years and paid millions in dividends to shareholders. How does that work? How was it possible? What rubbish were we getting told when it was like, oh, we can't afford the government can't afford to run these, they can't afford to invest in them. Trust me, if you're down south, you know the water companies haven't been investing, you know the train companies haven't been investing. So let's not let them say that about the NHS. Let's not let them do that to the NHS. So yeah, that's me. So now I will go make more tea. Catch you later.